Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Isma Danish bin Isa. I'm from photography course MCAAD 117-1B. Today I want to share you about my final assessment. The first thing is exposure triangle. So you need to know that in the exposure triangle there are three things. The first one is aperture, the size of opening in the lens through which light passes. It is measured in f-stops, for example f2.8 or f5.6. A lower f-stop allows more light and creates the shallower depth of field. The second one is shutter speed, the amount of time the camera's shutter remains open, determining how long light hits the camera sensor, measured in seconds or fractions of a second. The last one is ISO. ISO is the sensitivity of the camera sensor to light. Lower ISO values, for example 100 to 200, are used in bright conditions, while higher values such as 800 or 1600, these ISO are used in low light situation. Right now, I'm going to explain. Panning in photography is a technique used to capture a moving subject while creating a sense of motion and speed. The photographer selects a relatively slow shutter speed and follows the moving subject with the camera during the exposure. This results in a sharp subject against a blur background, conveying a feeling of movement. Panning is commonly used in sports photography, wildlife photography, and other situations where there is a sense of movement. It requires practice to master, as timing and coordination are crucial for achieving the desired effect. With patience and experimentation, photographers can create striking images that convey a sense of speed and dynamism. Next one, bracketing. Bracketing in photography refers to the technique of taking several shots of the same scene at different exposure settings. This is done to ensure that at least one of the image will have optimal exposure, especially in challenging lighting conditions or when the photographer is uncertain about the correct exposure settings. Bracketing is often employed in situations where the photographer may have difficulty determining the ideal exposure in a single shot. Common scenarios include high contrast scenes, landscapes with rapidly changing light. Once the bracket shots are taken, photographers can review them and choose the one that best suits their vision. Alternatively, bracket shots can be combined using post-processing techniques to create high dynamic range (HDR) image, focus stack image, or other creative effects. Next one, depth of field. Depth of field in photography refers to the range of distance within a scene that appears acceptably sharp in photograph. In simpler terms, it is the area in front of and behind the main subject that is in focus. The depth of field is controlled by factors such as the aperture setting, the distance from the camera to the subject, and the focal length of the lens. Key points about depth of field in photography are aperture setting, distance to the subject, focal length of the lens, and sensor size. Understanding and controlling the depth of field is a crucial aspect of composition in photography. Photographers use it creatively to isolate subjects from their backgrounds, emphasize certain elements, or create a specific aesthetic. For example, a portrait photographer might use a wide aperture to blur the background and draw attention to the subject's face, while a landscape photographer might use a narrow aperture to keep everything in the scene sharply focused. Next is high and low shutter. In photography, the terms high shutter speed and low shutter speed refer to the duration for which the camera's shutter is open, determining how long light is allowed to reach the camera sensor. These settings have significant implications for capturing motion, controlling exposure, and achieving specific creative effects. High shutter speed are used to freeze fast-moving subjects or capture action with minimal motion blur. This is especially useful in sports photography, wildlife photography, and any situation where a quick and decisive moment needs to capture sharply. Low shutter speeds are used to intentionally introduce motion blur into an image. This can be creatively employed to convey a sense of movement. Capture long exposure shots of flowing water, or emphasize the dynamic nature of a scene. However, using low shutter speeds without stabilization may result in unintentional blur, especially if the camera or subject is not stationary. It is important to note the specific photographic situation, the desired effect, and the available light. In some cases, the combination of high and low shutter speeds might be used in conjunction with other settings to achieve the desired result. The next one is white balance. White balance in photography refers to the adjustment of the colors in an image to ensure that white objects appear truly white, regardless of the lighting conditions. Different light sources. Betul sources.
Apollo, bila-bila masa, di mana jua?
Different light sources such as sunlight, incandescent bulbs, fluorescent light, and flash emit light with varying color temperatures, which can affect the color rendition in photographs. The human eye automatically adjusts to different lighting conditions, but camera need specific settings to accurately reproduce colors. The white balance setting helps photographers correct or adjust the color temperature of the light in a scene, ensuring that the colors in the image appear natural. Proper white balance is crucial for accurate color reproduction, especially in situations where the color of light can significantly vary. Incorrect white balance can result in images with a noticeable color cast, making whites appear yellow, blue, or other unintended colors. Photographers often experiment with white balance settings to achieve creative effects. For example, intentionally using a cooler white balance in a warm sunset scene can enhance the golden tones, while using a warmer white balance in a shaded area can create a cozy atmosphere. The next one, hard and soft shadow. In photography, the terms hard shadow and soft shadow refer to the characteristic of shadows cast by objects, and they are influenced by the size and distance of the light source. A hard shadow is characterized by sharp, well-defined edges. It occurs when the light source is small or relatively far away from the subject. In other words, when light rays converge at a narrow angle, they create distinct borders between illuminated and shadow areas. A soft shadow, on the other hand, has a more gradual transition between the illuminated and shadow areas, resulting in softer, less defined edge. Soft shadows occur when the light source is large or close to the subject, causing light rays to converge at a wider angle. Photographers often manipulate the characteristic of shadows to achieve specific effective in their image. Next one, drawing with light. In photography, typical refers to a technique known as light painting. Light painting involves using long exposure photography and various light sources to create artistic and soft and often abstract image. Instead of capturing a single moment in time, light painting allows photographer to draw or paint with light over an extended period of time. Light painting allows for a great deal of creativity and experimentation, and photographers can produce unique and visually stunning results. Common subjects for light painting include landscapes, architecture, and even portraits. The technique is often used in artistic and abstract photography to add a sense of magic, mystery, or movement to the image. Next one, multiple exposure. Multiple exposure in photography refers to the technique of combining two or more individual exposures into a single image. This can be done in camera, where the camera combines successive frames, or in post-processing using image editing software. Multiple exposure allow photographers to create unique and artistic image by overlaying different scenes or elements. The next one, artificial light. Artificial light in photography refers to any light source that is not natural, such as sunlight. These are typically man-made light sources used to illuminate scenes, subjects, or objects when natural light is insufficient or unavailable. Artificial light plays a crucial role in photography, offering photographers to control over the intensity, direction, and color temperature of the light in their image. Common sources of artificial light in photography include incandescent bulbs, fluorescent lights, LED lights, studio robes and flash, speed lights, and on-camera flash, continuous lighting, and light modifiers. Next one is composition. Composition in photography refers to the arrangement and placement of visual elements within a frame to create a visually appealing and compelling image. It involves making intentional decisions about how to organize and present the elements in photograph to convey a particular message or evoke a specific emotion. Effective composition enhances the overall impact of an image and guides the viewer's attention to the intended focal point. Alright, that's all for me. Thanks to spend your time for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Bye bye.